Good morning there, beautiful people, and welcome to Sunny Daze, the podcast that's all good vibes, great stories, and just the right amount of magic. I'm your host, Jolly, and here we go. First up today, Elaine Gibson's Acts of Kindness. Elaine Gibson is a 53-year-old Bronx native who has dedicated her life to uplifting others, both at her workplace and in her community. At Montfort Hospital's Cafe, she's worked there for nearly 25 years. She started a heartwarming tradition. It was during the COVID pandemic. She was passing out handwritten notes of encouragement. These notes often including uplifting messages or quotes inspired by her faith, and they've become a source of comfort and positivity for the patients, for the staff, and for the visitors alike. But her kindness didn't just stop there. Elaine is so deeply involved in volunteering at the Women's Homeless Shelter near Yankee Stadium that for the past decade, she and a group called the Grateful Eight have provided the women at the shelter with essentials like clothing, hygiene products, food. They also host activities, play music, and create a supportive, joyful atmosphere. Elaine's work is a testament to how one person's generosity and compassion can ripple outwards, touching countless lives in profound ways. Her story is a great reminder of how small, consistent acts of kindness, like writing notes or spending time with those in need, can make a big impact. Elaine's dedication to brightening other people's days, both at her job and in her free time, shows how anyone can contribute positivity to their community and uplift those around them. Thank you, Miss Elaine. And a happy birthday to another beautiful lady named Elaine. While you may know her, as I do, by her more recognizable name. Happy birthday, Queen Latifah. Born Dana Elaine Owens on March 18th, 1970. She is truly a powerhouse of talent and influence. Over the years, she's made a name for herself as a rapper, a singer, an actress, a producer, and even a talk show host. She emerged as one of the pioneer women in hip hop, delivering empowering lyrics and messages, challenging stereotypes, and uplifting her audience. Her debut album, All Hail the Queen, and the Grammy winning Black Rain remain influential works in that genre. Queen Latifah's talents extend far beyond music. Her acting career took off with roles in films like Set It Off in Chicago, for which she earned an Oscar nomination, and she also starred in comedies such as Bringing Down the House and Beauty Shop, to name just a couple. On television, she's perhaps was best known as well for her leading role in the hit sitcom Living Single, which remains a cultural touchstone for its relatability to its characters, its witty writing, and more recently, she's taken on dramatic roles, showing off her incredible range. Equalizer is on TV. Wonderful, wonderful show. Just love it. But Queen Latifah's impact isn't limited to her creative achievements. She's also a trailblazer and a role model. She uses her platform to advocate for social justice and body positivity. She's been a vocal supporter of women's rights, of LGBTQ community, equality, the fight against racism. Her openness about her own life and her dedication to breaking down barriers have made her a beloved figure, not just in entertainment, but in society as at large. With her boundless energy, her charisma, and her dedication to her craft, Queen Latifah continues to inspire fans across generations. Happy birthday to you, ma'am. And now, how about some fun facts about what else at this springtime? Spring. So, did you know that spring fever is a real thing? As the days grow longer and temperatures rise, our bodies produce less melatonin and more serotonin. This shift can give a boost of energy and improve your mood, hence the feeling spring fever. And did you know that spring isn't the same length everywhere? Well, in the Northern Hemisphere, spring begins around March 20th, 21st, and ends around June 20th. However, the exact timing can vary depending on where you live and how you define the seasons. And did you know that cherry blossoms are a symbol of springtime renewal? They are so beautiful. In Japan, the blooming of cherry blossoms is a highly anticipated event. People celebrate by picnicking underneath the trees. It's considered a time to reflect on life's beauty and fleeting nature. Oh, and that is so true, isn't it? And did you also know that baby animals are a hallmark of spring? Spring is known as a season for renewal, and many animals give birth at this time. It's not just a coincidence. Springtime often brings more abundant food, milder weather, and longer daylight hours, which help young animals thrive. Neato. And one last fact about spring. Did you know that the start of spring can shift? The official start of spring, known as the vernal equinox, doesn't always happen on the same date each year. It can vary slightly due to the Earth's orbit and leap year. So that was a little bit into what we were saying earlier about March 20th and 21st. Yeah. Interesting facts, did you know? Okay, and now how about some box office information? Well, this week, let's stick to the spring thing, shall we? Let's take a look at the last 5 or 6 years and the box office hits that premiered during spring season. The Avengers Endgame. It premiered in April of 2019. It was a Marvel superhero epic. It shattered numerous box office records, becoming the highest grossing film of all time at that point. It grossed over 2.797 billion worldwide. Wow. Also to the Avengers would be the Infinity War. It was released also in April the year before in 2018. It was the precursor to Endgame. This film also had broken several records, including at that time the highest grossing opening weekend for a spring release. My. And there was the Furious 7. It hit the box office in April of 2015. I seem to hear a theme here with the April time, huh? Furious 7 was the seventh installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, and it debuted to a massive 147.2 billion on opening weekend. Makes you wonder what's going to be out all of this spring, huh? And then there was the Super Mario's brother. That was just a couple of years ago, April 2023, was an animated adventure, and it opened at 146.4 million in its first weekend. These films not only dominated the box office during their spring releases, but they also led a significant impact in everything we watch and us getting so involved in this culture of these movies. Now, how about the Billboard? What was happening in the music at springtime? Let's just glance back to last year. I can't wait to see what's coming out this year. But last year, right around springtime, March of 2024, We Can't Be Friends from Wait for Your Love by Ariana Grande. It debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100s. So there was Teddy Swims, Lose Control. That was his soulful ballad, reached the top spot also in March of last year, showcasing Mr. Swim's powerful vocals and emotional depth. There was Like That, which debuted last year in April by Future Metro Boomin and Kendrick Lamar. There was Too Sweet by Hoosier, reached #1 in April last year. And Fortnite with Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone. It was this unexpected collaboration that debuted at #1 in May of last year. So those are just a few tracks that not only dominated those charts during the spring releases, but also showcase the diverse range of music that resonates with audiences during this vibrant season. So I wonder what we have to look forward to these next few months. And now, how about a Jolly Chat story? We'll call What Else But Spring at the Apollo. The Apollo Theater buzzed with the kind of excitement only a spring evening could bring. The first warm night after a long winter had folks shedding coats and stepping out in their finest, ready to be dazzled. Inside, the air shimmered with anticipation. The marquee announced a night of fresh talent, newcomers eager to make their mark under those iconic lights. The host, a man with a voice like velvet, warmed up the crowd with a few quick quips and a broad smile. When the curtain lifted, the first act stepped onto the stage. It was a young woman named Ruby, her dress in a flowing yellow, beautiful color that caught the light and seemed to shimmer with each step. Her guitar, her guitar hung loose at her hip, her eyes scanning the audience with equal part nerves and excitement. She began to play. At first, a single chord, a low, resonant note that hung in the air like a sigh of relief. Then her voice joined, soft, tentative, but carrying a warmth that brought the audience to stillness. Her song spoke of hope after hardship, of the changing seasons and the promise of renewal. By the time she hit the chorus, the crowd was swaying. Ruby's voice grew bolder, her smile breaking wide as she felt their energy. When she finished, the Apollo erupted into applause. She stood there, bathed in the golden light, looking out at a sea of cheering faces. It was the start of something new, something bright and full of possibility. Spring at the Apollo wasn't just the calendar changing, it was about rebirth, about taking a chance, about sharing something real and watching it bloom. And Ruby, she would always remember this night as the moment she became part of that magic. The end. All right, beautiful souls. That's a wrap on today's Sunny Days. Remember, kindness is contagious, joy is a choice, and a little bit of magic is hiding in the everyday if you're willing to look for it. So keep shining and keep smiling. Until the next time, stay sunny, stay golden, and most importantly, stay you.